which seemed too big for me, and most especially to 3 persons whom I hold dear in my own beloved world, for constant care in supplying me with confidence, books, research assistance, and invaluable content and literary criticism. My heart-deep thanks move lovingly toward Dr. Anna Mao, Miss Rosalind Rinker, and Miss Joyce Blackburn. From all of these, and my mother, who held me up by prayer and cheerful letters when her own life was difficult, I not only received constantly and in every way, I learned more about the heart of the One, whose every loving intention is directed toward all of us in His beloved world. Eugenia Price, Chicago, Illinois, August 1961. Chapter 1. In the Beginning. One day we may be able to stand on another planet and look through a powerful telescope at the Earth. If and when this day comes, it will be hard to believe that there was once a time when there was no such thing as the planet Earth. Just as it is hard to imagine as we look at the other planets now that once there was nothing but space, not only in our universe but in all the others. Once there was no place to stand at all. Once there was nothing to look at. More than this, there was no one to look. Then one day, in deepest heaven, a great light broke, brighter than the great light already there. Every shining mountain and every bright angel leaned expectantly toward the light and listened. God was about to speak. A deep rhythm swelled and subsided, and God said, "Let us make man in our own image." He did not speak to the angels or to the shining mountains. He spoke to someone else, someone who was a part of Himself. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. In God's heart was so much love that He needed to create other beings for His own sake, beings who would be completely dependent upon His love. And so that these new creatures would have a place to live, God began to create the heavens and the earth, and all that is in both. Into space He flung the stars and the suns and the moons. Over the dark waters that hung in one particular part of that trackless space, His Spirit brooded, and there was dry land. The mountains, valleys, little hills, and meadows of the planet Earth. Between the stretches of dry land, God limited the rivers to their banks and the big oceans to their shores. And when rivers began to run their courses, and when oceans met shores, a new rhythm was born on the earth, a rhythm that met and mingled with the rhythm of the wind that blew the clouds and the rain that fell when the thunder came across the sky. Then, under the sound of this rhythm which we can hear, another sound we cannot hear was born. The sound of seeds cracking in the dark ground, and the sound of little green sprouts pushing their way toward the sun. Little sprouts which became great trees and bright, fragrant flowers and grass. In the seas, God put fish. In the skies, He put birds. On the dry land, big and little horned and furry animals began to roam and scamper and chatter and roar. God was busy creating the heavens and the earth for love of the man He would create and watch over forever. Then, when everything on earth was ready, God created man and called him Adam, which means red earth, because God created Adam out of the dust of the earth. Adam and God. There was no other human being there that first day to be glad that Adam had come. But even though he was the first man on earth, he did not feel at all unwelcome. When he opened his eyes, he was not surprised to find the bright, heavy-petaled flowers all around him. He was not surprised to find the blue sky carrying white-plumed clouds high over his head. He was not surprised to find the tall, dark-pointed cedar